Hi, welcome to Strength Training 1. I'm here with Randy. We're getting ready to start the workout. Hope you're ready for us. We'll start with a nice bonus warm-up that you don't have in your book. Let's start off with a side lunge and a crossover lunge combo. So here we go, we'll do 10 cycles to each direction.
All right, ready
So
to go.
there's that side lunge, crossing over left. That's one, excellent. Getting down as deep as he possibly can. He's got great hip rotation as he comes through here. Perfect. Each time we're gonna try and get as deep as we can on this end. At this point, left leg should stay straight, really getting into a big stretch in the glute. As soon as he finishes his 10 cycles, he's going to switch and move to the other side. Excellent job, Randy.
That's 9.
That's 9, beautiful.
And 10.
And 10. All right, now he's going to come this way. Lateral lunges on this side, crossing over in front. He's got his head nice and high, looking up at the anchor. Sound a little creaky on this side, a little creaky.
Feeling a little creaky.
It's early, we're going to warm up fast. Excellent, Rand. Really try and get some good extension out on this side, nice and low. Really nice and low. You're gonna feel one side is maybe a little bit less mobile than the other. That's all right, excellent. Straight down there. Perfect.
9.
This should be at a high tempo.
And 10.
Excellent work. All right, let's pivot around. We're not gonna take much of a rest here because we're warming up. This is gonna be just a forward lunge with a side bend overhead into the lead leg. So we'll do 10 to each side. That's it, drive forward, good, there's that step. Come straight forward towards me, excellent job. We're looking to drive that hip to one side as the hands move to the other. Perfect, really opening up here in his side, getting a little bit deeper maybe with that lunge, and trying to recover in and out quickly. Again, 10 to this side and then 10 to the other.
And 10.
Beautiful, let's work to the other side right away, trying to get that heart rate up a little bit. Driving in, excellent work. Again, you may feel that one side is slightly tighter than the other. These two warm-up exercises are great for increasing mobility, blood flow, and really getting us set for the demands of the workout that's almost ready to come. Nice job, Randy. Finish this off. Excellent work. He's coming in and out.
And 10.
Beautiful. You should be feeling kind of loose, ready to go. We're going to start off with a suspended lunge. So to do that, let's get that handle into single handle mode. And we want to adjust it so the very bottom is about 12 inches from the ground. So again, you remember that single handle mode from the setup and use
All right.
section. Excellent. So we're in there. Let's get our left foot up in there to begin with. We'll start with right foot down. We're gonna start off nice and slow. We wanna make sure that we've got really good stability and form here. So we'll start off now. Let's do 10 on each side. We wanna come straight down. Excellent, get a little bit lower if you can. That back knee should almost touch the ground if you can make it. If not, strive towards it, excellent. A slight bend forward with those shoulders. Randy's got a nice gait pattern going with his arm. We'll do 10 on this side and then switch off. We'll switch it right away and then we'll have
And there's 10.
45 seconds in between. So let's switch right away to the other side.
Off on this
Excellent job. And away we go. Again, we're looking for a nice, slow, controlled movement down. His knee is staying right over top of his middle toe. That's perfect. Looking straight down, eyes forward, chest high at the top. A little bit lower on this side if you can. As we go a little bit lower, we're starting to increase that hip mobility. This is building this great single leg strength. Nice work. So 45 seconds rest. We're gonna run through that one more time. There's some great benefits going on with this exercise.
Tell you what, this thing, we're carrying rucks under loads, building up the stability through all the way from the hips down through the bottom of the feet.
It's fantastic for all of that. The other thing that's happening is we're getting good proprioception in our feet. That means on uneven surfaces, we're less likely to sprain an ankle or create an injury there. And we've got good mobility and strength in our hips. Combined with what's going on in our foot, that's gonna reduce knee injuries. So all those things are super key for the military person. We've got about 10 seconds before we're ready to start our second set. Let's start to get that foot up again.
All right.
All right, and we're up in about 3 seconds. 2, 1, let's go. Let's add a little bit of speed to it this time. Dropping down a little bit faster. This is a progression, so if you're not ready to do this yet, don't start with it, but as you move along, we want to go a little bit faster. Good, making it more lifelike and more functional.
9, woo.
That's it. Nice job. It's very, very common for that quick little loss of balance. Try and stay with it. We'll move right to the other leg.
All right.
Excellent. Now again, you always want to start off a little bit slowly to begin with. Make sure you've got your technique and add speed only when you've got perfect form.
6.
Nice gait pattern. Drive through it. Heart rate should be starting to get up nice and high through this.
And 10.
Nice job. Well done, Randy. Most of you should be feeling a little bit of a burn at home. If you're starting on an easier progression, well, you probably didn't do the second set. You may have had a little bit more of a rest, and you're just striving to get to where Randy is right now. At advanced principles, you're making that look like nothing. All right, well, we've got about 30 seconds before we start into the single leg squat. So for this one, we're going to want the handles into double handle mode, and we're going to lean back against it. Now our goal with the single leg squat is really to build towards being able to do a single leg squat without anything at all. Most people can't do that. In fact, about only 1% of the population can. So we're up in about 5 seconds, leaning back against it. As light a grip as you can have on the handles. That other leg is in front. We'll start on our right leg. Away we go. Straight down, straight up. Good depth. Go a little bit slower if you can. Really get into the bottom. You want to really engage that glute and hamstring. Extend out of the bottom. Well done, Randy. Right down, straight up. Keep that head up high on that anchor. Really looking to get a big load through the glutes, quads, and hamstrings. This is all leg movement. Excellent. Again, we're going to switch directly to the other leg. Our 45 seconds rest comes after that. Straight down. Randy's doing a great job keeping a light grip on the handles. Again, he's getting his knee to come nice and far forward, really getting into a real squat position that will lead him to be able to do this without the TRX. Last couple, keep that head up nice and high. Head up nice and high. Extend through there, beautiful. Well done. We've got a 45-second rest, and we'll roll into that again.
Starting to feel those.
You look like you have a little bit of a glow.
Yeah, that's just my happiness of being here.
All right, we're starting back to that initial leg. You're definitely gonna feel some fatigue at this point.
Yes.
After doing 2 sets of suspended lunge onto the second set of our single leg squat. Again, this is great single leg strength. Big extension through the hips. Excellent for carrying loads. Again, single leg balance, single leg power.
We've got a nice break here though at this point in the program. Really gives yourself a chance for the heart rate to come back down, be ready for the next one. That'll go away as the program progresses.
And speaking of progression, we're 3 seconds away. We're gonna move a little bit faster this time. Away we go. So down again, a slightly more advanced progression here in the second set. Randy's getting down just as deep, but starting to add speed and power, much more demanding both for his legs and cardiovascularly.
9 and
Excellent, and switch right away. We're gonna get our tempo a little bit higher through this second section. Get nice and deep, nice and deep. Come on now, get down there if you can. As far as you can, drive up. Light grip, finish it off now. Come on now, finish it. Last 2.
10.
Beautiful. Again, a 45-second rest, and how are those legs feeling?
Nice.
Nice, good stuff. We've got one more leg exercise that's gonna happen from a standing position. This is called the sprinter's start. Now, if you haven't watched our exercise library, make sure you do, because this one has got some technicalities in terms of getting into it, but once you've got it, it's fantastic. Great ground reaction
that
force.
one. Just,
what we're gonna do is let's have the TRX is coming underneath our arms and fall right into it like this. So you see in this case, Randy's hands are tucked right into his armpits pretty much. They're going to stay there. Now what we're going to do is get in a nice deep position, getting ourselves set. You see this is very, very athletic. We're up in about 3 seconds, and away we go into that sprinter start. Driving up, good. Really what we're looking for is all of this extension right here coming up through his glutes, driven from his hamstrings. His quads are really gonna start to burn as he decelerates that movement back. This back leg is doing very little, just touching down for balance. Everything is happening from that front leg. Finish off that 10. There it is. So we did 10 slow to begin with, and now we're doing a 10 fast. This is the second component of the set. That's it, drive through. Try and keep up with Randy at home. Excellent. We're going to switch again right to that other side, and then we get our break. So here we are in position. We're starting off with 10, nice and slow. We look at this, we've got really good alignment. His head is staying up nice and high. His hips are staying behind his shoulders. Exactly what we want to see. At the end of the 10, then it gets serious. We'll start to add 10 fast ones. Go, here they come. Now notice he's almost ballistic, but not quite. In later progressions, we're gonna add a third 10 that has power, where his foot will be leaving the ground. That's it, drive it up, finish it now, come on now. Beautiful. Now we get those 45 seconds rest and
I'm appreciating them.
perfect. So, from somebody who comes from a military experience, can you see how those would add to?
Oh man, when you talk about, again, putting a load on, managing laterally the balance and sprinting, getting up, getting down, charging upstairs, climbing. Yeah,
super explosive. Again, this is a great way to add an explosive component to your program. So we started off with some slow movement, starting to get faster, and we're up in about 15 more seconds. Again, you should feel your heart rate starting to come down just a little bit, but only a little bit. You shouldn't get full recovery between these sets. So let's make sure we start off with that same foot. We're up in 4 seconds. Get yourself set and go. Nice and slow, control it. If you want to make this more difficult, you can always get a little bit deeper. Randy's got a good depth right here. As he progresses, he'll be able to go deeper as well. Perhaps maybe only in his younger years.
Easy, easy.
Excellent, Randy. Here we go. Let's have the fast ones. Good. Notice that back leg is just touching down and going. Everything is coming from that front leg, especially the deceleration. Controlling that movement back is the real key to leg strength and functional leg strength. Nice job. Let's switch sides. We'll finish off this standing leg stuff. There it is, nice and slow, nice and slow. Now, one of the other things you may have noticed is that Randy's keeping this leg back. You can drive the knee forward, but when we get to that third power set of 10, and we're gonna ask for him to lift off, that's gonna mean he doesn't have time to pull that knee all the way forward, and he's gotta come up behind, so make sure you understand how that works. Here comes the fast stuff, straight up and down, up and down. Good. He's coming right up onto his toe. We haven't talked about it yet, but this is super key. Driving up onto the toe really completes the movement and makes it the most functional. Excellent job.
Whoa, yeah.
All right, most people will be ready to lie down right now, and luckily we've got that programmed in. So we're gonna do some leg stuff from a supine position. So at home, make sure you're adjusting the TRX. The bottom of the loops should be about 12 inches off the ground, and we'll be set to do some of this supine work. All right, let's get you to lie down here on your back. Randy's already adjusted it, and now we're gonna put your heels into the TRX. We've got about 15 more seconds before we're gonna start this, this particular set.
What are we off on this time, Fraze?
Hamstring curls. So let's get those heels in the TRX. We're up in about 5 seconds. There we are. Again, you can use this pendulum principle. Bridge your hips up and off the ground. Make sure your toes are pulled towards you or dorsiflexed, and away you go, 10 of them. Excellent. Nice and slow and controlled. Now again, if you feel that this isn't hard enough, you can always move yourself this way, or you can start to elevate your hips, and we'll show you that in the second set. These toes are staying nice and dorsiflexed or pulled towards his knees. That's very important. Beautiful. Now we've got a 45-second rest.
I'll take it.
So our pace is starting to slow down now that we're using kind of bilateral movement, meaning both legs are coming back at once as opposed to training one leg at a time.
But you'll appreciate that slowing of the pace, I promise.
All right, so how are those hamstrings feeling? Not so bad after the first one?
Not just yet, but they're getting there.
The first 3 exercises tend to be very, very quad heavy. We're sort of shifting it. This is a bit of an isolation work for those all-important hamstrings and extensors. Some of the other things that are going on here, and you may feel it, and this is especially good as a side benefit for back injuries, is we're really getting some good extension here in his back to maintain that position. That's developing some great back strength. So we're up in about 5 seconds.
And that's particularly true when I'm elevating the hips, right?
And we're gonna start this one with just a little bit of a harder progression with high elevations. Away we go. Hips are up nice and high. Now you see the difference here. This is much more demanding. He's getting his heels much further away from that neutral point. Very, very difficult. Drive it up, man. Come on. Push up hard. That's it. Beautiful.
9 and 10.
Excellent job. All right. So we're not moving from here. You get a nice 45 seconds just down in this position, but our next exercise is called the hip press, and it's a great companion for the hamstring curls. Very similar in some ways, except it's going to demand a little bit more glute stuff and a little bit more from your high hamstrings. So we're going to take these knees and pull them straight into about a 90-degree bend. Now Randy's moved himself in. That's because this exercise is quite demanding. In this position would have had him way in front of that neutral position. So from a pendulum principle perspective, this is much better. So we've got his knees at 90 degrees. The important thing is this angle stays the same. So if you're doing these and you find those legs are starting to extend out, Gotta pull them back a little bit and control what's happening here. We're gonna take the hips, drive them straight up in the air. We'll start right now for 10, driving them up. Looking for a straight line from knees to hips to shoulders. All the way up, right here in those hamstrings. Drive it. I can feel how much he's getting good contraction here in his hamstrings and his glutes. A little bit higher, squeeze it at the top, little squeeze at the top. Beautiful job. And that's his 10. So 45 seconds, we'll rest it, and this will be almost the end of the leg. This is a tough hamstring sequence.
This is. It's
Again,
a great
one of the important things here is we're getting this dorsiflexion or pulling of the toes towards the knees. If we were to point those toes out or plantar flex them, what that would cause is a huge calf cramp, and we really want to avoid that. So making sure we've got those toes back enhances this quite a bit. So we've got about 15 more seconds of rest. Make sure you take it. Again, as this program progresses, the rest starts to go away. So take it while you've got it.
Now by now you should be able to feel your heart rate really have come down, be able to focus on good form, getting the most out of each repetition.
Exactly. All right, so we're going to go right away. Driving it straight up. Good. That's it. Now for something a bit different, you could internally rotate or put those knees right together, and that's going to change the stress a little bit in your hamstrings, making it a little bit more difficult as you tweak some of the helpers out. Beautiful job. All right, we've got one more thing to do from this supine position. For it, I think Randy's going to have to move himself out. It's called a hamstring bicycle. Now in this one, we've been working bilaterally. We talked about that before a little bit, both legs moving at once. In this case, the hamstring bicycle, we're going to move one leg at a time. So again, dropping those heels in the TRX, you want to make sure that if you're working on a single-sided anchor like this pole, you're slightly in front of it so you're not butting up against it each time. In this case, what we're going to do is pull one knee back at a time in a bicycle-like movement. Okay, so really want to make sure you get your hips high off the ground. You can't have both hands flat on the ground like this. To progress it, hands to stomach, or even hands behind the head to make it very difficult. Let's go, we'll do 20 of them total, alternating sides. Drive in, drive out, be very deliberate each time, drive back as far as you can, hips up high. That's it, let's get those hips a little bit higher if you can. Good. I suppose it is easy for me to say. Excellent job, Ran. Right back to my hand, right back to it, beautiful. Nice job, way to hit that target. Finishing it up. Hips up, hips up, hips up. Beautiful job. All right, let's come away from that supine position. We can come back to our feet, and we're going to move on to our upper body. Your legs should be feeling about done.
Did you want me to do that second set or no?
I think that second set might be a good idea. I was getting ahead of myself.
Fair enough.
Always the person who's doing the program is more aware of how many sets we've actually done.
A lesser man would have taken it.
A lesser man might have. A greater man may be sorry he did.
All right.
All right, so we've got about 15 seconds or so before we go. Last set for our legs. All right, so let's rally for this one. We've got 10 more seconds. We'll come up. I think in this one, we're gonna pull Randy away just a tiny little bit. He's had an awful easy time with that one, and he did remind me of this second set.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, so hips are up high.
Does a lot.
And drive. Again, we're applying that pendulum principle, and if you haven't watched our setup and use section, we go over it in a lot of detail there. So 20 of these. This is a lot of hard work. Randy's doing a great job. He's making it look relatively easy in comparison to how he probably feels. At the end of hamstring curls, hip press, and now onto the bicycles, plus all of that standing work we did, this is a tough way to finish. That's it, Randy. Beautiful. All right, we can come up. Your hamstrings are probably ringing a little bit if you did a real good effort all the way through there.
I hate to leave my dirt farm down there.
You definitely wouldn't want to do that. You can tell that Randy's been in amongst the dirt with this one. All right, so we're gonna move on to our upper body. And in this case, we're gonna save some of the big parts of our upper body for day 2 or the second of our suspension training workouts. Here we're gonna hit the smaller ones. So starting with a high bicep curl is where we wanna be. So in this case, extending the TRX all the way out. You want to start off with a nice big extension. Okay, now Randy's got his foot offset. Give him a little bit of traction. We've got about 5 seconds before we go. Palms are facing up, and you're going to pull straight to your temples. Away we go. Get nice and deep with it. Deep as you can. Excellent. Now for those of you who think that you can't get good bicep work with just your body weight, you'll be sadly mistaken at the end of this set and know it. We're looking for 10 of them. He's got great extension. Right up here, his chest is out, his eyes are high, pulling right up to his temples.
That's 9.
Beautiful, one more. Well done, Randy. 45 seconds rest before we have to do that again. Now your biceps are a small muscle group, and you may think this is an isolation exercise.
Some smaller than others.
I suppose you're right. In this case, it looks like it's an isolation exercise, but there's a lot going on. Where else are you feeling this?
Oh man, I mean, your core engaged, you've got balance issues, you're certainly feeling it through your upper back, and even obliques to hold that platform.
Lots of shoulder stability. You have to keep those shoulder blades retracted.
Upper back.
The other thing is your feet are on the ground, so you are getting a good ground reaction as we're rolling through this. So we've got about 10 seconds to go. Let's get down, see if we can start in a deeper position. Even if you can't make it all the way through, we can back it off. We're gonna apply that vector resistance. I'm gonna push him hard this set. So we're getting down nice and deep, and go. That's it, drive it up. Come on now.
That'll do it.
You can give him a little kiss at the top.
I prefer you didn't.
I was actually saying you could give them a little kiss at the top. Thank you very much for the offer. Now, as soon as it gets too hard, move yourself back just a little bit, and finish it off. This is a beauty of being able to adjust your resistance on the fly. Well done.
Ooh, yeah.
You can quickly move your feet back as soon as you kind of hit a failure point where you don't think you can make the set. Drive back a little ways, and you're all right. We're gonna switch out. That was our second set of the bicep curl, thankfully. So we're gonna switch out and move on to triceps.
Do some tricep work.
So now this tricep work, we're going to do 2 different ways today. We'll show you as kind of an isolated movement, but from there we're going to move on to something that's maybe a little bit bigger and someone would say more functional.
Great.
All right, so we'll start off with your hands straight out in front of you, leaning in. Now there's a whole lot of core engagement that happens right away. What we're going to do is drop our head sort of towards our hands and then drive out and away, holding onto our elbows in good position. Let's go, 10 of them. Again, Randy's got this foot in front. He's got a bit of a self spot going on, which is perfect. And he's driving himself forward, really having to push away on the TRX. There's lots of movement for his wrist to switch positions. Driving in. Nice job. Perfect. And again, as we see him do that, we're seeing lots of core engagement as you come forward.
Yeah, you can really drive into that as hard as you can possibly take. And then help yourself with just enough to get back up to the starting position. Stay at the threshold almost the entire set.
We've got lots of shoulder stability going on there. We've talked about the core engagement, as well as obviously your triceps are, I'm sure, feeling like they did something.
Well, whether they look it or not, yes.
You strive for the horseshoe. So in this case, what we're gonna do, we're gonna go a little bit deeper, but we're gonna let more of his body work. So kind of falling forward into almost a soccer throw in, driving in. That engages our lats and our chest and allows us to coordinate that movement to come back to that extension. So we're going to start off with this. Again, if you're in early progression, you can ignore this section. This is for a little bit higher. Ready?
Ready.
All right, let's roll. Last 10. Boom. Now he's falling in a little bit harder. This is cutting a great deceleration of the movement, all driving through his triceps, into his chest and lats, driving forward. Excellent. And again, you can control how hard or how easy this is simply by adjusting your foot position. That's it, Randy. Come on now, finish these off. Last couple. Beautiful. And last one. Nice job. All right, we're on to the last 3 exercises and into our core. So we've kind of been using our core pretty much the whole workout, but now we're going to target it specifically. So the first one is that high rotation. For that, I want you to put the TRX into a single handle mode.
Handle mode, feeding from the bottom once, switching hands, feeding through from the bottom again, and always locking it off and weight testing it to make sure that I've got it locked correctly in place.
Absolutely. And in this exercise, we also want to make sure that you've got the TRX fully lengthened. So definitely make sure that it's lengthened all the way out. I think we're good here. All right, so nice wide stance, leaning back against it. Make sure you're grounded well through your feet. Your hips stay steady as you rotate and come right up to the side. Let's go. We'll go 10 to each side. So 10 to one side and then 10 to the other. Good. Coming all the way up and through. Now you can see the kind of rotational power we're getting here. He's driving through his hips, driving all the way up all the way through his obliques, connecting obliques into rectus and the other side. Also, his extensors are working pretty hard here. This is an incredible movement for any sort of combative sport or any kind of movement under load. Excellent job. Let's immediately switch to the other side. Now, when we switch to the other side, we want to change our hand position so that if we're moving to Randy's right at this point, his left hand is on the inside of the handle. That's it. Pulling across. As far as you can, right over here. Good. That's it. As you're doing this, you should feel your full abdominals engage, as well as movement through your hips, glutes. Last two, drive all the way up and over. Nice work. All the way up and over. Beautiful. 45 seconds rest, we get to do that all over again.
That is a great exercise for supporting loads on your shoulders, going through all range of functional movement, wearing body armor, preventing getting that body armor back after a day standing around in gear. All that rotational power and range of motion. Great stuff.
And when you're loaded like that, we're never really walking in a straight line. There's all this rotation that happens, and being able to control that and decelerate that is super, super key to prevent injuries.
Now, one quick point that we might make is the range of motion here. I'm stopping just before I have to support myself to the front with a foot, making sure I get that full range of rotational motion.
Absolutely. In the second set, you'll see there's no slack in the TRX, which goes back to what we talked about in our basic principles. Away we go. Second set. Good. And again, as you're going along through this workout, don't be afraid to challenge your strength. If you can go just a touch deeper, even if it means you can only do the first 5 at that level and then go back, or using the last 5 to really see what you've got, push yourself. Driving up and through, up and through.
Keep my arms as straight as I can.
Absolutely. And making sure you're grounded well through the side, through the foot that's on the same side you're rotating to is super important. Excellent. Immediately switch. Remember to switch that hand grip. That's really important as well. And driving across. Perfect. And again, you can see how much rotation is going on here. He's got this hip that comes through, and that drives the whole movement right from basically his hip all the way across to his chest into that handle. And of course, it's all body weight based. Nothing's more functional than being able to work with your own body. Last two, come on now. Straight towards me. Hop. Beautiful. All right, so now we're going to take the TRX out of that single handle mode and move to one of my favorite exercises. This is the side plank with PAPs. We're gonna do it from our elbow.
Oh, good.
For this, you want to adjust the TRX so it's about, again, 8 to 12 inches off the ground, and we'll put our toes in the TRX. So that means sitting down, getting your toes in and rolling over to one side. We're gonna start off, we'll face this way to begin with.
Facing you or facing away?
Facing away from me.
Put my toes in one at a time. In this case, crossing right foot over left.
Good. Now, Randy's got a good point. He's got his right foot over his left. He's gonna tuck that heel, gonna go a heel to toe there. Now he's on his elbow here, making sure he's got a nice broad base support up into this side plank position, reaching high to the sky. And now he's gonna come under and he's gonna look for my hand underneath, hiking up and then all the way back to it on this side. Good, look at that movement. We've got great movement here at his hips, looking for 10 of them, all the way through. Beautiful. Excellent job, Randy. Now he's making an easy job of this, but it's much harder than it looks. Keep working at it though, and you'll be able to do these with the same kind of fluidity we're seeing Randy do them here. Excellent job. It's beautiful. Now, important, to roll over, roll to the ground, and then move to the other side. And in this case, we're gonna start right into it, straight up, straight down. Look at all of this hip movement we've got here. We don't just want to reach under and keep our hips nice and flat. That's not what we want to see. We want it a nice piking position up and reaching as far under and as far back as we can. It's especially important to reach back. It's engaging all of these retraction, all that retraction through your shoulder blades, which is going to help increase shoulder mobility and reduce injuries in your shoulders. Beautiful. 45 seconds and we get to do that all over again. I think I've got a little surprise for Randy for this one too. If you're working with a partner and you're feeling particularly evil, what you can do is start to add a real negative impulse to it, meaning that he's got to decelerate some action down. So as we get set, we're going to start off facing you, And as he comes up, I'm actually gonna give him a little push, just a small one at the top, that he's gonna have to decelerate right through his sides.
How are we doing on time here, Fraser?
I think we've got about 10 seconds.
All right. I'll get back down to my mud pool.
All right, so we're down here. We're almost through. Coming straight up and go. Good. I'm gonna give him a little tug now. There, he's gotta push down. That's it. We'll just do it for the first 5. Excellent work. Good. Good. Last one I'm gonna give you right here. Good, and now let's finish it off. So now I've really pre-fatigued him. I've given him a big negative impulse, and now he's got to finish it. And look at his range. He's doing a brilliant job opening right up through his chest, getting good engagement back there. Let's roll over, and we'll do the same thing on this side. So up he comes, and I'm gonna drive him down. There's 1, 2, come on now. 3, 4, last one, 5. And now he's gonna finish these off all on his own, all the way up. Beautiful. This is incredibly hard. Really try and stay with it with you at home. Last couple, up. 1 more, you can do it. Right here, beautiful. 1 more exercise to do. It's called the body saw. Now we're gonna show this to you a couple different ways because in your program, it progresses a few times during the course of the program. So, how are your sides feeling, first of all, before we get to it?
That negative impulse tap is a real joy.
It's, as I said, it's only to be done if you're feeling a little bit evil and if the person has already pretty much mastered the side plank with taps. So, to get into the body saw, we're going to be in a plank position with our feet suspended. Randy's already got his feet in there. We're going to do this from our elbows. Now you can do it from your hands if you want to, but it's incredibly difficult from there. So to start off with, we will start with our hands, but we'll start off just with that suspended crunch. Okay. We'll just do about 3 or 4 of those.
On hands, is that what
On hands, yeah. So we'll just do these for you people just starting the program, you'll note the first 5 of these are suspended crunch, and then we're gonna get to what we really do. Let's go down to our elbows and do that body saw. So we'll finish off with his 5 body saws, straight back and straight forward. Now this is really key. See how he's opening up through his shoulders as far as he can, a little bit of a pike at the top, making sure that we don't get any sort of a dip in his shoulders. This is a small movement, just 1 more. Beautiful, and down. Now that's just a small movement, but that's incredibly difficult for your core to manage as you increase that lever length.
Yes, it is. I'm here to vouch for that.
So we've got 45 seconds rest, and we've got 1 more set to do, and that's it.
And we're showing this as a progression because at the beginning of the program, we're doing the suspended crunches that Fraser just had me do. At the end of the program, we're doing those same exercises with a body saw as a preload, and it's downright savage at that point.
So what we're going to do in this second set, we'll start off the first 5 will be that same body saw we just saw, and then we're going to move to the combination where we combine that body saw preload into the suspended crunch, which is very, very challenging. All right, so let's get ourselves out. Body saw, make sure you're far enough away from your ankle, you're not gonna bang into anything, and extend out and in. That's it. There, and just do a little adjust. So see, he's got a nice opening back, and now, here we go, last 5. So you see that body saw preload, boom, and power into the knees to chest. Into the knees to chest. Good, last couple, come on now, finish it off at home. Come on now, you can do it, last 2. Straight back, straight up. Beautiful job. Nice work, man.
Oh boy.
Well, you can see that that's a tough and condensed workout.
Fast and furious. And dirty.
And dirty, yeah. Hopefully you were able to work up the same kind of sweat at home as Randy did here. We hope to see you for the second workout.
Be looking forward to it.
All right, welcome to Strength Workout 2. We're ready to get right into it. Randy, you feeling good?
I'm feeling great.
A little heat, little heat. All right, we're gonna start off with that bonus warm-up. Just like we did in Strength Workout 1, we'll start with a lunge fly. So we want you to lengthen that TRX all the way out, facing away from it. And we'll start off we're going to just alternate right through. It'll be lunge fly for the first 10 and then a lunge press for the second. So here we go.
Off we go.
Driving it in. Excellent, Randy. Now you notice as Randy's going through, he's going through all sorts of different ranges of motion, getting up high, trying to really open up those shoulders across all the planes of motion, every direction. So as soon as he's done his 10, what we're going to do is switch that to a press. So now he's lunging into that press. Again, today's workout is very upper body focused. Excellent, Randy. Trying to open up those shoulders, get the hips moving, probably recovering a little bit from the first workout. Excellent job. Now as we finish our 10, we're gonna move directly into our squat row. So leave the TRX as it is, squatting straight down and rowing yourself up. Notice Randy's got a nice high elbow position there. His head is nice and high, looking up at that anchor point, squatting right down through his heels, coming up. Beautiful job. Excellent work. Keep those eyes up nice and high, and get nice and deep. And now on the second 10, we're going to go right into an overhead. So it's a squat to an overhead raise. Continuing to warm up our lower body and getting all up into those shoulders, posterior chain, up nice and high, driving up. Attaboy. Nice and quick. Keep your tempo quick at home. Good pacing. You should be feeling your heart rate come up and those muscles warm up nice and good. It's a quick warm up, just a couple minutes and we're ready to go. All right, how you feeling? Loose?
Yeah, getting there.
All right, the first exercise is the big one. It's the suspended incline press. Now, this is a really unique set. You've got 4 minutes and 20 repetitions. You can space them out, strategize it however you want to. All but the very fittest of you are going to fail at some point through this. You'll have to go down, you'll have to rest. That's by design. Your goal is to try and get as many high quality suspended incline presses as you can, and sometime in the 4 minutes, complete it. Ideally, you finish up early and you can move right along, but you've got 4 minutes. Get on the clock now. So we've got it into single handle mode. Get that foot up and suspended. Once you're there, you're going to turn around just as Randy has. Put your hands there. We're set to go. He's backed up, he's up, and away we go. Right down, crown to ground, crown to ground. Keep that core nice and tight, nice and tight. Good work through the obliques. Excellent, Randy, straight down as best you can, best you can. Beautiful. Nice job. That's it. How many was that?
Halfway.
We're halfway there. We've only burned about 30 seconds. That should give us lots of time to have another good push and get all the way through it. That's a good one.
Now I find these to be one of the more challenging exercises in this series, so.
Randy just understated that.
I hope you do too.
Might be the understatement of the year. So whenever you're ready, get yourself in position again and start to go out. Your first push is going to be much bigger than your subsequent ones. Randy's got 10, we've still got 10 to go. We're almost a minute in, so we've got lots of time still, lots of time to rest, recover. Again, this is designed to be a big multiple set. Just take as much rest as you need, but don't exceed your 4 minutes. All right, we're about a minute in. Randy's going to give it another shot. Hoping to get at least 3 if we can't, get up nice and high. Attaboy, very good. Straight down, good. Don't short stroke those, come on now. Beautiful. Good tight abdominals. Look how his tailbone is up perfectly. Let's even get one more there, Rand, one more. Drive it up, up, up. Oh, almost. Excellent job. So we're what? We've got 3 more in, so we're at 13. We've a minute and a half down. That's 2.5 minutes to go to get 7. Notice that first big set takes its toll. Randy was able to rattle off a solid 10 to begin with. That was 3, and the last one was a bit tight. Now, for you big guys out there, this one is hard. This is all about strength to weight. The smaller guys tend to have a much better luck with this. So for the big guys, carrying all that extra muscle mass, it is definitely not helping you on this one. We're 2 minutes through, that's halfway.
Guys like me, well,
old fat guys, I don't know what to tell you. So here we are.
How are we looking now?
We're 2 minutes in, halfway.
All right.
We've got 13 down. Notice how Randy gets himself back. Now he's choosing a really steep position. Again, you don't have to. You can always go to the modified one with your foot down. Here we are. 1, good, come on now. Drive it up, good tight abs. Perfect. There's the 3, we're at 16.
I think I'll stop there.
All right, so we've got 4 to go. We're 2.5 minutes in. That means we've got a minute and a half to go. This is looking super good. I think we'll be able to get through it no problem. Now, in terms of strategizing, because there's a lot of strategy to this set, do you think you're gonna go for the big 4 or 2 at a time?
I'll probably go for the big 4 and end up at 2 at the time.
All right, well here's what we can try and do. If you run out, sometimes you know, Randy may go for the big 4, he gets 2 in, and then may decide to go to the modified version to finish the set, and that'd be all right. I think I might have just talked him into that one. So we've got just under a minute to go. For those of you who are doing this at home, you can time it just on this. Time is crunch time now. So get back nice and steep. Here he comes up. There's his 1, beautiful. 2, good, he's going for it. Nice, come on now. Come on, go with him. Last one. Oh, and finish it off. Give me a bonus one. Straight down, give me 1 more. Beautiful job, excellent work, Randy. So for those of you at home, you've got 25 seconds left. Really try and get it down there and work as hard as you possibly can. Now, if you have to go down to that foot on the ground, or maybe you just started there, that's all right, but stay strong to the end. You've got 13 seconds left. 10 seconds now. Come on now, give it everything you've got. 5 seconds.
I think I left a nice forehead print in the
5
dirt.
seconds. Try not to leave the forehead print in the dirt. 2, 1, done. Nice job. All right, we can move on now.
Okay,
The next one is almost as challenging. It's the atomic push-up. Now we've got a 45-second rest period here. As soon as we get our 45 seconds down, we're gonna be into it. It's 2 sets of 10. Now, 45 seconds is not much time to rest, especially if you took the full 4 minutes for your incline press. So, we'll get yourself into position. What we wanna do is get toes up and into the TRX, rolling over so you're in that push-up position. Make sure you cross over. All right, so down in the chest press position. Again, push up, make sure your feet are there. We've got 10 seconds before we start.
All right, I'll take them.
5, 3, let's get it up and ready, and start. Set of 10, nice and low. Pull them in. Randy's getting his hips nice and high. I want them straight down. Chest right to my fist. Boom, very good. Driving it up. Now you can add power to this. Go down nice and slow and drive the knees in fast and hard. Nice. Nice. Finish off this set now. Come on, work it. Head up, head up. Do not do these by bringing your head closer to the ground. Excellent job. We've got 45 seconds. 45 seconds to rest, and then we have to do it all over again. So another 10. Again, if you need to modify these, just put your knees on the ground, go into the push-up that way, and then you can come back to it whenever you feel like you can.
And if you think that these are not quite challenging enough at this point in the program, just wait a couple weeks.
Many of you might be able to just rattle these off on their own, but I guarantee you, post-incline press, it's a whole different story.
It is indeed, yes.
So we've got 10 seconds. Get yourself ready. You're down in this push-up position, sort of the ready position, knees on the ground. In 3, 2, 1, let's get it up and get it started. Nice. Good, slow on the way down, fast on the way up. Slow, get down nice and deep. Keep that head up. If you find you're lowering your head to the ground, you're just fooling yourself. Shoulders nice and strong. Hip up, hip up, hip up. Come on now, drive it up. Hip up, and knees under, beautiful. Straight down. Nice job. That's the end of the atomic push-up. Again, we've got 45-second rest, and we're gonna move on to that single leg chest press. All right, now, just like we talked about, if you watched your the setup and use period, as well as your exercise library, this single leg chest press, while on its own, maybe not so hard, in sequence, quite difficult, and we're gonna really emphasize stability. So, lengthen your TRX all the way out, leaning out against it. You're gonna bring your feet right close together to begin with, and then we're gonna get one wide off. We'll go 8 to one side and switch and go 8 to the other, and let me give you a hint. If you know you've got a smart and a dumb side, and almost all of you do, start with the dumb side, because you're gonna wanna be on your smart side to finish. All right, so get yourself set. We're up in 3 and 2, 1, foot out, straight down. Now I'm looking at Randy's hip here, and I want him to keep it nice and straight. If you don't feel your core super engaged right now, you're cheating. Excellent. Manage that rotational force. As soon as you're done your 8, your feet come together, the other leg comes out. Keep that head up nice and high. Try and find a point on the horizon, looking out. Don't look down at that ground. That'll just drive your head down to the floor. Beautiful. Again, keep that Alignment nice and straight all the way through, good strong, and you're gonna feel this in your glute of the suspended leg, and that's all right. Excellent job. That's a tough set. Tough set, and we got one more of them. Okay, so again, that 8 and 8, you can see this program is starting to move a little bit quick. Making sure you've got lots of rotational force. You should really feel you're having to control your core. Now, if you don't, all you need to do is wiggle your ground foot to the side ever so slightly, or go a little bit deeper, one of the two, and you're gonna get all you need.
But I think you're gonna find these chest exercises have a way to stack up on top of each other.
They do for sure. All right.
All right.
Get a chance to catch your breath.
Yeah.
We're about 10 or 15 seconds out. There's our 10-second mark. Getting yourself set up now. Wrap your head around this, because this is the last kind of anterior chest component. We're up in 2, 1. A little bit steeper. All right, Randy's bringing it straight down. He's got great alignment here. Feeling that rotation. How's that core feeling, Rand? Beautiful. Straight down, straight down. Looking good. Making sure you exhale as you push out. Exhale strong, that's it. That's your first 8. Let's swing to the other side. If you can, wiggle that foot just a little bit to the side if you can, just a little bit. Feel that rotational force, finish strong. Come on, last couple, last couple. Nice job, get that leg out. Brilliant.
Oh yeah, moving that ground foot.
And again, when you move that ground foot, it's just ever so much, even a quarter of an inch makes a huge difference getting that center of gravity a little bit outside your base of support. All that falls on your core to manage.
Okay.
So, we can move away from your chest now.
Oh,
Not such a bad thing.
just in the nick of time.
Let's shorten the TRX all the way up. We're gonna move to our elevated or steep back row. So,
No
in this
rest
case,
for the wicked.
well, 45 seconds rest, so you
All
can't
right,
be that
well,
wicked. I want you to get down to that deep position. Really, the best way is to sit down on the ground, bring your feet in as low as you can. We're up in about 5 seconds.
All right, very good with it.
Straight down. Now, this is another one of those time sets. You've got 30 reps to do in 3 minutes. Here we go. Drive it straight up. Now go nice and slow, nice and slow. I know Randy's strong on here. I don't want him to rattle them off too quick, so I'm gonna make him go a little bit slower. Slow. And let's get a hold at the top. Just a quick hold and slow down.
Faster.
Little hold, slow down. Let's work that eccentric. Let's do them 10 at a time, Rand. Up, slow down, beautiful. All right, so our strategy for this is we're gonna try and do 10 each minute, and they're gonna stack up. Those first 10, he ripped off without too much of a problem. The next 10 gonna be a little bit harder, especially if I squeak him a little bit by making him hold at the top and really control that eccentric movement on the way down.
Let's not get too crazy here, Craig.
Oh, I'm not crazy. I just didn't say I was very nice. So we should be approximately 1 minute in or getting close to it, 45 seconds. Keep working through. Randy was pretty quick on there. I might have to move him to single handle mode for next time. Maybe I'll let him off on this one. All right, so let's get ourselves up a little bit, and we're gonna go a little bit slower on the way up, really slow, and extra slow on the way down. Really slow it up on the way down. Even drop that hip a bit at the bottom. Drop that hip a bit at the bottom. There we go. Now we get an extension. Good. Head goes back as you come up. Head goes back as you come up. Beautiful. Excellent. Drive through there. Beautiful job. Come on, up, up, up. 10. Excellent job.
20.
There's our second 10. We're 20 in. We've got 30 reps to do. Another 10. We're only halfway through our time period, though. For those of you who are working it out at home, no matter where you are, keep trying at it. If you find you can just rattle through 30 of these without any problem at all, there's a few ways you can make it harder. As I alluded to earlier, you can slow down. Pause at the top is another way. Another thing you could do is put in a single handle mode and try and do these 30 on each side, meaning go to failure on one side, switch, go to failure on the other, try and rest up and continue along. Now we're almost 1 minute out from our final, and we're gonna try and take at least 30 seconds to do these ones. So we're gonna go nice and slow, 3 to 4 second repetitions. Here we go, slow up, pause at the top. Give me a 1 count at the top. And down, beautiful. Slow on the way down, slow, 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 slow. We're gonna try and count to 3 on the way down. 1, 2, 3, drive it up. Good, 1, 2, 3, drive it up. Pause, 1, 2, 3, come on now, up. Good. We've got 30 seconds to go. Good, last 2. Come on now, finish them. Last one, and he's gonna do a 5-second hold at the top. Drive it up. Hop, come on now, hold it, hold it. Nice, bring it down.
Oh yeah.
Now you at home, keep it banging away. We've got about 20 seconds, 15 seconds to go. There's our 10-second count. Finish them. You've got 5 seconds to get to 30. 5 seconds to 30, and you're done. Super good job. Now, moving on, we've got the single arm power pull. You've only got 45 seconds to rest. While you're resting, I want you to put your TRX into single handle mode. Now, if your back isn't already toast, it's gonna be in a minute.
This is gonna be another one of those stack it up effects.
It might be a stack it up effect.
I feel it coming.
One of the other ways that you can make that elevated back row a little bit harder is if you're working on a flat single-sided anchor, you might even be able to push your feet up against a wall or elevate it on top of a bar if you're working in a squat cage, and that makes it super
Or like
hard.
a plyo box.
Plyo box will work really well too. So we're in 10 seconds. We're going to be doing this single arm power pull. Nice wide stance, leaning straight out, big rotation. I'm going to give Randy a good hand target here to come up to. And we're gonna get some good rotation. Away we go.
What are we doing here, Fred?
10 to each side. Good. Try and be as steep as you can and really open up to the ground as you do this. We want to get as much rotation right here as we can.
Nice high elbows on the drop.
Beautiful. That high elbow pull is really important. We just worked that low back, mid back. Now we're getting high to mid back. Lots of shoulder stability. Excellent work. Right up here. Good. Making good contact up at the top. And there's our 10. Right away, let's switch to the other side. We'll get these other 10 in. Dropping straight back. See, I'm giving Randy a good hand target to come to. If you're not training with anybody, reach right up for the anchor point and see if you can't give it a tap and let those eyes follow the hands all the way back. No slack in the TRX. Make sure you keep your weight on it. Excellent. Finish this off right there, right to my hand. Beautiful. Nice work, Randy. Last one. Boom. Brilliant. Now we've got 45 seconds to rest. Again, you may be feeling that cumulative effect that we talked about a little bit earlier.
You may be feeling that.
If you're actually doing the workout,
I hope so.
I've got the easy job. Now this next set, I'm going to actually work a little bit of evil into this workout for Randy.
Oh, good.
If you're training with a partner, you may have seen this in the exercise library. We can give an added push, an added impulse to create this a very combative environment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give him this hand target, and first he's just going to make contact with me for the first couple, really trying to push against me, and then I'm going to add some momentum and he's going to have to decelerate and resist. All right, you ready?
Ready as
Here we
I'm
go.
gonna be.
Last set. Straight up, push hard against me. Push. Good. Push. That's it. Now we're gonna add an impulse for 3. Boom. Decelerate that. Come on now. Fight with me. That's it. And I'm gonna finish these off all on his own. He's got 5 to do. Nice work, Randy. Come on now. Drive it back. That's it. And finish it. Beautiful.
All right.
Now we're gonna move to the other side right away and get right into it. He's gonna push against me and go. 1, 2, 3. Nice strength, Randy. Come on now. 4, beautiful. Last one. And now finish it on your own. Right to here. There's your hand target. Pull it up. Good. 3 to go. 3 to go. Come on now, keep working with him. Keep up with Randy at home. Well done.
Yeah.
There it is. 45 seconds. Now you can see, especially if you're working with a partner, as soon as you were pushing against anything, that should have ripped right down through your core and really giving you some good hard impulse. Now, still working with the back.
Oh, good.
We're on to the swimmer's pull.
Here we are.
This is the last thing for our back. Again, you should be feeling pretty fatigued already.
Chest feels like it's been there. The back's getting there rapidly.
We're gonna lengthen that TRX all the way out. Again, the real key with this, and we went over it quite a bit in the exercise library, is making sure that you've got that good internal rotation, high elbow position, and you're really extending out through your back and lifting your chest.
Swim stroke, right?
Exactly. So we're about 5 seconds from it. Let's get in that offset foot position. leaning straight out, and go. Driving straight up nice and tall. Good work. All the way up. Beautiful. Again, lift that chest. Excellent job, Rand. Really extend through, extend through. Keep those elbows nice and high. Nice and high. It's not a back row. Beautiful. Good. Last couple, drop the hips down just a little bit so you can get a back extension in. Nice job. Well done. You should really be starting to feel that right between your shoulder blades. We've got 45 seconds before we do our second set.
Now, Fraser, talk a little bit about what happens to these rest intervals as this program progresses.
As the program progresses, I mean, we're just in week 5 and 6, so to begin with, if you're earlier on in the program, you'll notice you've got longer rest intervals. Later on, those rest intervals continue to get shortened, and this program becomes incredibly demanding.
So enjoy them while you got them.
So this swimmer's pull, we're gonna make it a little bit harder. We're gonna bring Randy just a touch steeper to start off with. We'll see how long he lasts before he has to adjust that foot position back. In 10 seconds, you're up. Wrap your head around these next 10 repetitions and really focus on technique. Here we go in 5. Randy's got his end position. His offset is set, and go. Straight down, drive it up. That's what I'm talking about, right there, all the way up strong. See if you can drop those hips at the back, make it nice and functional. Beautiful. This is a huge, long movement, and you're starting to really feel it between your shoulder blades and all in your lats and back. Great for shoulder stability, great for swimming, of course, and just general upper body strength. Last 2, come on, finish them up with Randy. Come on, last one, buddy, last one. Beautiful. All the way done. 45 seconds, your back should be feeling like it's almost toast, and unfortunately that doesn't bode well for you because we're getting into our shoulder sequences. There's lots of postural work. Now this shoulder sequence, as I let Randy pace and catch his breath again, is all based, it's gonna be great for building shoulder stability, great for strength, and really good for your postural strength and injury prevention.
We're gonna be working those rear delts and the whole shoulder girdle from about 200 degrees throughout this.
All the way around. So to begin with, again, we're going to start in that Y position, so our arms straight overhead. Let's find that finish position, nice and high. Set your offset right around that. We're up in 3 seconds. Here we go, we've got to extend it all the way out and go. Straight down, straight up. You might have to make small foot adjustments to make sure that you're getting what you need to out of this exercise. Well done, Randy. Keeping that head lifted straight up nice and high. You should be focused on an area above the anchor point.
How many reps we got here, Fraser?
We've got 10, or 8 of each, sorry.
And there's 8 right there.
Beautiful. So our next one is, well, I think we've got 2 sets of each of these.
2 of each.
So we got another 45 seconds rest. And the reason you may notice that our reps are reduced, we've been doing 10 repetitions, we're dropping it to 8. We've recognized that this is a very, very difficult set that's very cumulative, so we've tried to take a little bit off.
It starts easy and it ends
Savagely.
not so easy. Yes.
All right, so again, with this second set of the Y deltoid raise, this is the last one for it. Well, let's start off a little bit steeper. Always be trying to push your envelope. As you push your envelope, it's amazing, you'll find you can carry through a lot more than maybe you thought you could. And sometimes maybe less.
Hey, was that aimed at me?
No, of course not. You know my aim's no good. All right, so all the way up. Excellent. So you can see Randy's hit a much steeper position this time, and he's really working hard, but look at that extension he's getting. This is great to get out of that kyphotic or rounded shoulder position, really strengthening his back, and you're gonna feel this right between your traps. That was it.
That's it.
Beautiful. Another 45 seconds. Now the next one, very, very similar, is called the T deltoid fly. As opposed to going into that high Y overhead, we're gonna come straight out. You're gonna be a little weaker to this position, likely. It's less in the anterior shoulder and a lot more through your traps.
You'll notice that a lot of this program we've structured to focus on the back side of the body, all the prime movers down the back, and not quite so much on the front side, and this set certainly falls in that category.
There's a huge reason for that. If we start to train too much to our front, too many push-ups, too many sit-ups, what that does is overload us this way and really sets us up for injuries in our shoulders and our lower back. So we're up in 5 seconds into that T deltoid fly.
Okay. Ready?
And away we go. Again, dropping down, you can see the movement is very similar, but we want to come straight out, even with the shoulders. Randy's head position is perfect, it's nice and high. And again, we've got great engagement right there. If I put my hand right between Randy's shoulder blades, I can actually feel his scapula, those two shoulder blades, pulling together as he finishes off this set of 8. Beautiful job.
Now they're starting to add up.
Indeed, they really start to burn. If that's what you're feeling at home, that's okay. That's exactly what we want. Try and give them a little shake. 45 seconds isn't long, but it is enough to give you enough recovery. Again, this is our last set of the T-deltoid fly. We'll start a little bit deeper maybe, see what we can do. It's easy to back your feet off as you need to. So those little instantaneous adjustments are simple.
Which we might need to.
We may need to as they add up. So I think we're about 10 seconds out.
Well, then I'll wait.
You see, Randy's got a bunch of different strategies using. He's trying to lengthen them out. He's shaking them a little bit. All of that is helping with his recovery. So here we go. Straight out, he's got his end position and his offset. Perfect. Attaboy, Rand. Again, look at the extension he's getting through his thoracic spine. That's exactly what we want. Really allowing his shoulder blades to come together, and posterior delts are working like crazy, along with his whole rotator cuff. Last 2. Last one, up, 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 squeeze. Beautiful job. 45 seconds, and then we're on to the low deltoid fly. This is the last of our shoulder sequence. Now, this low deltoid fly is actually one of the harder ones.
It sure is. This one will sneak up on you in a big way, because at this point, it's starting to get challenging just to kind of hold the arms out there. This last one with all of the rotation at the end.
When Randy says rotation at the end, that's exactly what it is. What we're getting is our 2 shoulder blades to pull up and in together. It's giving us a lot of strength, and this is really, really good for anybody who gets loaded through their skeleton actually with a pack. This is a fantastic exercise. It's really going to help prevent injuries.
Now the tendency here is to short stroke this at the end, and I'm going to try not to do that.
And again, we've got that nice position. Your offset position is going to have to be a little bit longer, and we're on. There we go. Now the other key thing here, and Randy's doing a great job of keeping these arms straight. You do not want to get into the habit of rowing and then tricep pressing through. It's a whole different exercise. Keep those arms straight, really retract those shoulder blades, head stays nice and high. And again, we could drop the hips just a little bit and add a back extension right there. Beautiful. Brilliant job. Now, 45 seconds, and we get to do that one more time. That'll be the end of our shoulder sequence.
Mercifully.
Almost. So, again, that low deltoid fly, as I was talking about, fantastic for people carrying packs.
Absolutely. I mean, all the stress and strain when you're carrying a ruck under load, really pulling down on the delt, forcing the shoulders forward. This is a great one to kind of open you up and strengthen the ability to support through the shoulders as well as the waist.
Again, almost counters that whole idea. As Randy said, that pack drives you through here and gravity pulls you down even further into that kyphotic or rounded shoulder position we're really trying to avoid. All right, we're up in about 5 seconds. Okay. Let's finish this off. A little bit deeper, nice wide offset position, and go. That's it. This whole one, what I want Randy to do is drop those hips down a little bit. We're gonna try and make it a bit more functional. He's dropping his hips, which means that the movement actually starts off with a low back extension, making it functional and a little bit more coordinated. Head still stays up nice and high. Finish it now. This is the last one, up, up, up. Beautiful job.
Yeah.
45 seconds. Now, a second ago, Randy said mercifully, and I said sort of. That's because this next exercise, we're moving into the core part of it, but it's the high back extension, and it actually has an element of your arms overhead.
A big element of shoulders.
Quite a bit of that element of shoulders. So while we're not really targeted on the shoulders, if you're feeling this is like it's not very fair, it's still on purpose. We're really trying to finish things off. So again, leaving the TRX exactly in that fully lengthened position. This one we're going to lean all the way back on, and it's all about that back extension. In the previous 3 exercises, we used a little bit of that dropping of the back to engage the low back. This time, we're really going to target on it. We're up in 5 seconds. So, feet are together. We're going to lean right back, dropping the tailbone as far as we can, and straight up. Now, this hinge all happens here, right at the back. Excellent work, Randy. Right down. You're trying to drop down as low as your hamstring mobility is going to let you. and come up. But it should feel like it's coming right from that low back. And you see Randy ends up on his toes. He's really finishing this exercise off all the way up. And we're doing 10 of these. Come right through for 10. Last 2. Beautiful. Come on, one more, all the way up, nice and strong. Perfect. 45 seconds. How you feeling?
That feels good. Boy, those shoulders really feel it.
Excellent. It's kind of actually, it's a nice complement to all of that kind of forward work that we did earlier on in the program with the suspended incline press, the atomic push-up, the chest press. Really helps to counter all of the...
This exercise is very much like what you guys have all done on a Roman chair. The back extension, except here, you're actually standing.
And that feet on the ground makes it a lot more functional. So we've got one more set, and we've got a little surprise to throw at you right at the end of it. So don't give up at the end of your 10. All right, so here we are. Let's see if we can get a little bit deeper even. We're up in 5 seconds. Get set, 2, 1. Here we are, drop down, way down. Good, now I might add a little bit to Randy just by giving him a little push.
Oh, thanks, Ray.
Give him just a little push for the first 5. Again, if you're working with a partner, and now I'm gonna let him finish his 5. But at the end, I want you to stay standing nice and tall, arms straight overhead. We're gonna add in something called a postural squat. All the way up, all the way up, beautiful. Come on now. Let's go up strong. There it is. Now, the arms are up high, head is up, and he's gonna squat right down, keeping those arms overhead, squeeze right all the way down. You should feel this from the top of your head, right down to your tailbone. We're just gonna do 5 of them, just 5. Perfect, straight down, beautiful.
Oh yeah.
And I could feel the engagement all the way up. The muscles on either side of Randy's spine, his
that
erectors.
lights up the back, doesn't it?
It sure does.
At least my back.
Lit up mine too, truly. All right, we've got 2 exercises to go and we're gonna be finished. However, they're 2 toughies. We've got some core work here, and the first one's a suspended pendulum. So I want you to adjust your TRX so it's about 8 to 12 inches off the ground and get your toes up into it so that you're in that push-up position. And all we're gonna be doing is swinging from side to side. For those of you who checked out the exercise library, it's all there. We're up in 10 seconds, so at this point, you should be getting into the TRX and almost in position, rolling over. Here we go, we're straight up, push up, and we're gonna swing from side to side, and we're doing 20 reps total. That's it. Now see, Randy's got great mobility going on here in his thoracic spine. It's letting him pivot his hips from side to side. He's trying to expose his sides to gravity each way. Beautiful. Hips up, come on now. 20,
That's
20.
about 20.
Perfect. It's a fast set, but it's a bit savage, and now we've only got 45 seconds before we have to do it again.
This is another one of those exercises that as the program goes on, gets bigger and harder and longer.
And with less rest.
And with less rest, so you got that going for you too.
You know, as we really start to use less rest, the longer repetitions actually end up almost being doubled because we don't get to recover from them.
That's right.
So there's really a high muscular endurance component, and it should translate directly into increased performance for you. So we've got about 15 seconds to go.
All right. So right here.
Again, we really want you to focus on accelerating into each rotation. That means you've got to decelerate it, and that's what function's all about. All right, so here we go. We're up and go. Big swing. Pivot it, drive to it. That's it. Hips stay up. Hips stay up. Good. Don't flatten out. Keep it pivoting. Beautiful. Nice job, Randy. That's fantastic. Come on. Super good job. Now we've got one more to do, and it's called the suspended oblique pike. How your core feeling?
Pretty good.
Excellent. He says that like we need to add more to him, but I think he might not say the same thing after the suspended oblique pike.
Good point, yes.
What we're going to do here is I'm going to throw a couple little things at Randy as we go along. You really want to keep your toes up in that up in the TRX. Keep them suspended. This is a last suspended exercise, last exercise period.
And if you thought that the pendulums were a little easier than you expected, I don't think you'll feel that way about the set to follow.
This cumulative, again, that cumulative effect of working sort of the same thing is very difficult. We're up in about 5 seconds, so let's get down here.
All right. Offset hands.
Offset hands, one hand is in front of the other. That exposes your side to the ground, and up we go. Boom. That's it. Good work, Randy. Good work. all the way up, nice and strong. Again, we're really trying to get that hip exposed to the ground. Beautiful job. Good. Last few, come on, keep with it at home, keep with it at home. Try and keep up with Randy's tempo. He's set a blistering pace to begin with. Excellent job, so that's 10 on that side. We're gonna immediately roll over to the other, and we'll hit it on the other side. You can see how Randy's hips at the bottom of the movement are really exposing this side to gravity, and that's exactly what we're looking for. He's got a good high pike. You can see his shoulder mobility is actually allowing that. And if you can't get up quite as high, don't worry about it. Do what your body will allow you to do. That's his 10. Now we've got 45 seconds before we roll into the next one. But with this next one, I'm gonna give you a little peek at what the next progression is like. We're gonna preload it with a bit of a body saw, just for the first 5.
Oh boy.
Now this preload may not look like much, it's just a small little motion, but especially when your hands are offset and you allow that lever length to lengthen, it's a killer.
Yeah, a little bit makes a lot of difference on this body saw.
Now if you find to begin with you're having difficulty lengthening out, don't worry about it. Do what you can do. You'll find that as you practice and get stronger, you'll really be able to lengthen that right out. So we're up in 5 seconds. Let's get that nice offset hand position, really expose the side of the ground, but we're gonna preload it by going back and up. Here we go, first 5. Back and drive it up high. Good, keep those hips pushed to the side, expose that downside to the ground, beautiful. Back and up, good. There we are, now go take that body saw out and just finish with the pike. Explode out of the bottom. Drive it down and explode up. Boom, decelerate it right at the bottom. That's where you load, right at the bottom is where it all counts. Excellent job.
Now we're right to the
Let's
other
go to
side.
the other side. No rest, go right into preloading with that body saw. There it is, preloading it. Excellent work. Saw it back. Good, and now we're gonna finish it off with 5 in a row. Again, that deceleration at the bottom is where the real hard stuff is. Last 2, last one. Come on now, finish it. Beautiful job.
Oh, yeah. Tough that thing at the end, that's for sure.
That's good work. Nice work, my man.
All
Now,
right.
for those of you at home who just finished it, congratulations. That's a super tough workout, and I'm sure you're feeling your upper body, your core, and especially your back almost vibrating. We hope to see you next time. Have a great day.